Westworld Season 4 Episode 8 is arriving next week on HBO Max, and the new trailer poses many questions for what happens next, following the collapse of the world that was set in line by host Man in Black. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the trailer for Westworld Season 4 Episode 8, alongside discussing my general predictions and theories for what we could see in the upcoming episode. The trailer will be linked in the description if you want to check it out yourself. But before I get into it, if you want to see more videos on Season 4 of Westworld, then don't forget to support this upload by giving it a like rating, subscribing to the channel, and turning on your notifications. Also, feel free to check me out on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and Instagram at Cortex Videos, which is all linked in the description below. But without further ado, let's dive into my trailer breakdown and predictions for Westworld Season 4 Episode 8. So in the promo trailer for Episode 8, we seem to be getting a lot of interesting things set up, with host Man in Black potentially on his way to destroy the Sublime, Dolores being resurrected and maybe changing in the process, and Caleb, Frankie and Stubbs on the run from a violent Clementine. The episode, which is directed by Richard J. Lewis, is titled Que Sera, and this means that what will be, will be. Director Richard J. Lewis is responsible for one of the best episodes of Westworld, and that was the one where Bernard was revealed to be a host back in Season 1 and kills Teresa under the command of Ford. And with Jonathan Nolan also co-writing this episode, I'm expecting a big finish from this season, one that will tie up all the questions we have, and one that will set up the final season with an intriguing landscape. So let's get into everything we saw in this trailer surrounding the different characters involved and try to work out what might be happening. Starting with Hale, it appears we haven't seen the last of her, as the promo trailer gives us footage to suggest what she might be up to. We see a drone host carrying her body from the water surrounding the tower, and if we remember back to the original Season 4 trailer, we're yet to see the footage of a drone host retrieving an exoskeleton that I think is being used to revive Hale. Add to this that we're also yet to see the footage of Hale shooting someone at the Hoover Dam location, and it's pretty clear that she's coming back for this final episode. But the bigger question that lies in this revival is to do with what she does next. She's now seen her controlled world be set alight by the Man in Black, and she's also about to listen to that message that Bernard left at the tower before he died in the previous episode. One of the interesting shots in this promo is one that potentially shows Dolores holding the tablet that plays Bernard's message, and then also later on, she's holding a currently unknown pearl. The reason I think that this is Hale is not just because she comes back, but because she's also wearing the same level gloves that she wears in multiple scenes we are yet to see of her. Other people have said that this could be Frankie, but because Hale is coming back and the gloves that she wears matches the ones from this footage, I'd say it pretty much confirms it to be her. And on the recording that Bernard leaves her, he says, "This isn't the world you wanted, but it's the world you created." We also heard another part of that message last week before he was killed by host Man in Black, and he said, "This time only for one more game. If you choose to give her that choice, you can't miss. Reach with your left hand." Of course, the title for this season is The Choice, so what this could be alluding to is Dolores being convinced to change, and she makes a decision that would give someone else the choice that Bernard is talking about. Everyone is saying that they think Hale is going to be the one person that can change everything now, but again, to me, it sounds like Bernard is trying to get Hale to give someone else the choice that would give hope. And that brings us back to that shot of the pearl that Hale seems to be holding in the trailer footage, and is that what Bernard is speaking about? I think it could be, and I think Dolores is going to sacrifice herself by the end of this episode to buy the time that is needed for this pearl and whoever is to be brought back. I think Bernard is going to convince Hale in this message that there's no way of saving the world she's been in control of now that host Man in Black is on the final path to destroy it, and I think the plan going forward is to give the world that chance of hope using the choice that is made by the host that Hale brings back. And I think that this could be Dolores. But then the question is, who is this version of Dolores? Are we seeing one of the Dolores pearls that survived season 3, for instance the Connell's pearl or the Lawrence one? Or is this to do with Christina and what we're essentially seeing with her? Something to keep in mind is that we haven't seen the shot of Dolores or Christina walking amongst all the dead bodies in her classic blue dress yet. And that was leaked before the season aired, with her appearing to walk through the New York City she's currently in. So maybe Hale either brings Christina back as this new version of Dolores and gives her the hope to fight Host Man in Black and his ongoing path in the future. And maybe her costume choice in this leaked material is symbolic of what she actually becomes, similar to what we saw with the Man in Black in the last episode, now donning the famous costume and fully embodying this. Not sure how this will all fit together, but I do think we're seeing the end of that Christina narrative in episode 8, some reveals surrounding all of that, and then what she becomes. Obviously, when it comes to Christina, last week we learnt that her control was being overridden by the tones, and once we got to that ending scene with Teddy, he told her that she isn't real, but the world around her is. In the trailer for this week's episode, we got a shot of her stood at her bedroom window, one that results in her still questioning everything that's happened, and then also a shot of her with Teddy in the city, walking over many dead bodies. So while they are hiding a lot of the events that take place with Christina in this episode, I think we're eventually going to lead to that reveal about who she is and what she becomes. Whatever does happen, I think Hale will ultimately do anything to keep William from destroying the Sublime. And I think when she starts to realise that this world she tried to create and control is burnt to the ground thanks to her own doing, it will result in her actions to come. And this is why I think Bernard is talking about Hale allowing Christina to be that hope going forward. A version of Dolores that is embracing the beauty in the world like the original did, but one that has evolved into something new. I think that's what that pearl is, and if I had to make any guess on Christina's current situation, it would be that she's either the sentient control of this world that Hale has built, or something else that we're yet to learn about. The reveal that she is actually able to control things in the real world in episode 7 really did confuse me about where she really is, but I'm hoping for a satisfying reveal on that next week. But let me know what you think surrounding everything we've seen with Christina, because I must admit I am struggling to put together where she really is and how that relates to what we've seen with Teddy, who for the most part is some sort of tour guide through this broken world. We'll soon see, but again I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on that. Coming now to Host Man in Black, after his decision to make the world a survival of the fittest type setting, he now wants it to include only the cockroaches like him that make their own rules. He got hosts and humans to start killing each other after sending out the powerful tones from the tower, and now that this has been destroyed, he's on a mission to destroy the last piece of the puzzle. And based on the trailer, I think we can gather that this is actually the Sublime located at the Hoover Dam, which he brought for Hale back in the opening episode. In this trailer, we see footage of him making his way through the smoke and chaos that previously erupted. He gets ambushed on his way to the Hoover Dam, but then eventually makes it to that location. So what are we going to see here once he arrives? Well, I think we're going to see him arrive and attempt to destroy the Sublime and all the wealth of data it stores, and then I think revived Hale is going to fight him at this location after she embraces what Bernard tells her. The footage we spoke about before shows her shooting at someone near the door's opening, and it would make sense that her and the Man in Black come head to head for the future of hosts on Earth. It all started with Dolores and William, and seeing the version of those characters fighting here would be quite the interesting thing to see unfold. We've got a version of Dolores that has changed quite a lot in Hale, but she still has all of those previous memories of the past. So like spoken about before, she might go back down that original Dolores route of fighting for the beauty of the world and giving Christina, or the new Dolores, all that hope going forward. And when it comes to host Man in Black, he is embracing the villainy and survival of the fittest attitude that his character has been aligned with. He's not hopelessly playing a game that wasn't designed for him, he's now trying to create his own game of the future. So it's an interesting climate when it comes to both host Man in Black and Dolores, and I think their fight at the dam will be an evolution of their stories since that very first season. And I think Hale is going to use the Sublime when it comes to that pearl she was holding in the trailer too. Again, I think this is for a new version of Dolores, one that is printed and has the memories that we are currently watching with Christina. We'll have to see, but that's where I currently stand on that. The only other characters to discuss from this new trailer are what we are going to be getting from Caleb, Frankie, and Stubbs. Now we see Caleb helping an injured Frankie after she was shot at the end of the last episode, and we know that Stubbs was also with them. And if we put together the footage of them with the other footage we get of Clementine, who is picking up a knife, it links into what we've seen in the main season 4 trailer and the In the Weeks Ahead promo before. In those trailers, she's actually fighting Caleb, and we see that Stubbs is also present at this location too. So with Caleb and Frankie possibly running away and looking back, my guess would be that Clementine tries to kill Frankie as originally planned by Hale, Caleb fights her to stop that from happening, and Stubbs eventually saves them to give them the time to get away. I think this is right towards the start of the episode, and more importantly, before Dolores makes a change after listening to Bernard's message. But what are Caleb and Frankie really going to be achieving in this particular episode? Are Caleb and Frankie going to escape, make it to the Hoover Dam and be a part of those climactic events, or are they going to do something else? My best guess would be that they'd maybe try to retrieve Maeve's body from near the tower, and we'd eventually see a reunion between Caleb and Maeve before the end of this episode. I think they are powerless to make it to the Hoover Dam in time, but going forward into season 5, they'd be a huge part of the fight to save the world, being some of the few that remain alive. Maybe we even see Clementine catch up to them and reunite with Maeve if they bring her back, and just like with Hale receiving that message from Bernard, she also might have a change of heart going forward. It's another thing I'm unsure about due to a limited amount of footage we've currently got, but with them all being present in this episode, they'd surely have an important part to play. So that brings me to my final predictions for this finale. As a whole, I think we're going to see Hale find that message that Bernard left her once she's revived, and I think she's going to realise that her world has completely collapsed. It's her own doing, and I think it's going to lead to her following Bernard's instructions, in which she'll take one of those remaining Dolores pearls from season 3, and then she'll go to the dam with the aim at giving a version of Dolores a bit of hope going forward. I think Hale knows she won't survive this battle, and in turn becomes the key to helping those who remain. I think the Dolores pearl she takes is going to be cleverly linked into what we've seen with Christina this season, and that's why she still has those memories. And she'll eventually be brought back as a new upgraded version of Dolores that we saw in the leaked footage from earlier in the year. I think Dolores will fight Host Man in Black at the Hoover Dam, who's gone there to destroy it, and she will ultimately die in making this move of hope. I predict we'll see all the Caleb, Frankie, Stubbs, Clementine and Maeve stuff in between, and once the final moves are made, I think they will be another part of that hope left on Earth to try and save it going forward. So essentially, that would set up a final season of Host Man in Black and the cockroaches of hosts and humans that remain, going against a new version of Dolores, Maeve, Clementine, Caleb and Frankie in deciding the fate of this world. It would give us a clear perspective of the end game and also conclude all the complicated threads of this season. And yes, I'm also keeping my prediction that we might see some sort of continuation of that season 2 credit scene with William's fidelity test after all of this goes down. Currently, I have no idea on who could be behind that, but maybe it's some sort of response to what happens this season. Could it be Maeve and the others in their attempts to stop host Man in Black going forward, or could it be someone else? I'm unsure, but I would keep in mind that Caleb's latest fidelity test might have been a successful one, so maybe with that knowledge they can replicate it on William sometime in the future. We'll have to see, but let me know what you think that credit scene from season 2 is eventually going to be about. But they were my thoughts and predictions for Westworld Season 4 Episode 8. Overall, I think this finale is going to be a big episode to end this great season, and with there potentially being one more left, they have to really get us excited about how this story might all come to an end. I think the end of this season will set up the dangerous, yet also hopeful landscape with the characters that are left. But to those who saw the trailer, what are your predictions and theories for episode 8, and have you enjoyed everything we've seen in season 4 so far? Let me know down below in the comment section. For more videos on every episode of Westworld Season 4, then subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like rating and follow me on social media via the links in the description. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.